Side.
You're watching WJXX ABC 25, a First Coast news station.
We knew it was coming. The sheriff told us he would release it, a manifesto loaded with hate. And so tonight, we start with this. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Love can do that. Those words by Martin Luther King Jr. in 1963.
61 years later, we're shining a light on those words because hate does not have a place in our community. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has released a manifesto filled with hate from the man behind the racially motivated mass shooting at the Dollar General store last summer.
That shooting taking the lives of 3 members of our community. Gerald Gallion, a loving dad of a 4-year-old girl.
Angela Carr, a caring mother of 3 and grandmother of 16.
And A.J. Laguerre Jr., just 19, graduating high school a year earlier.
Those faces are one of the reasons why we have decided not to publish a single word from the shooter's manifesto on our platforms, on air or online.
We want you to know that our decision comes from a lot of discussion today in our newsroom. We wanted to do the right thing, and we know the families are still hurting and the community is still healing.
So our commitment to you is to remain focused on the victims and meaningful change. We want to avoid content that aims to divide our community. First Coast News on your side starts right now. And tonight, we are sharing the messages from people close to the families of the victims, as well as community leaders, about the pain caused by the shooting and the divisiveness written in the manifesto. Rich Donnelly is on your side tonight with that reaction.
They say that the release of the manifesto is another pain that the victims' families and the communities feel. They also hope it's a pain that no other family ever has to experience.
This is the man that destroyed their family.
Jacksonville attorney John Phillips represents the family of Angela Carr. While he will use the manifesto as part of his wrongful death lawsuit, he urges his clients and the community not to read it.
I've read it all. It's hard to read. The N-word is probably written hundreds of times. He advocates for the assassination of people by race, period.
In the days, weeks, and months after the shooting, memorials to the 3 victims were placed outside of the Dollar General. But the pain also remains.
It hurts our whole community. It hurts our city in general.
Reverend Willie McLaurin of St. Andrew AME Church in Jacks Beach says rhetoric described in the manifesto is harmful and ignorant.
Hatred comes from fear. Fear of me not knowing a person's culture.
But instead of continuing that divisiveness, McLaurin hopes events like this can bring different sides of our community together.
It's amazing how we can band together when devastation or disasters come, but why can't we do that every day? Joining forces so that we can walk hand in hand together, making our communities and our neighborhoods safe.
Phillips plans to file his lawsuit next month, but hopes this will lead law enforcement and lawmakers to take actions that will prevent this from happening again.
We've got to investigate how these racists, how these deviants empower each other and communicate, and how they obtain firearms and who knew.
When the manifesto was released by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Sheriff T.K. Waters released a statement saying that the investigation into the Dollar General shooting is complete and that releasing the manifesto poses no hindrance to the investigation. The shooter killed himself at the scene and no additional arrests have been made. Reporting Rich Donnelly, First Coast News, on your side.